Hey yo boys, as you can see in the background, I pushed all characters to 40. With that being said, I wanted to go ahead and put out a review. Something that I felt I should do for this game because I put in enough time when the beta was out that I feel I can do a good critique. So let's go ahead and dive into this review. So we're going to start out with, I've seen a lot of people where they've compared this game to Destiny and they've compared it to Warframe. Now, you can definitely see the Warframe inspiration. Um, which, in doing so, I've also noticed it dragged over a lot of Warframe content creators and a lot of Destiny content creators because of, the similarities. Um, See, this is where a lot of the reviews you're going to get from this game are going to be a bit jaded, right? Anybody who's played Warframe will plainly tell you that the community on Warframe, they're like basically all about Warframe. Like, nothing is ever going to be better than Warframe. Just saying. And let me just be honest with you. From playing Warframe myself and seeing some of the content creators on that game, I don't trust half of probably what most of them say. Majority of them, it's not even worth listening to. Say with Destiny, they make content just to make content because they know it'll get clicks and people watch them. And majority of the stuff is like either regurgitated from somebody else or it's just something absolutely stupid that has no purpose, or their review are so biased that you can tell that they're biased, right? So I wanted to get that out of the way because I mean, you look at my channel, I'm small. I don't have any bias. I'm not going to hold anything back in this review, and I don't think I should. I told on Twitter, I told the first Descendant Twitter team that I wanted to be part of their content creators. And I would bust my ass in order to fucking get it. Why? Because I think I can do a good job for it. And with that being said, instead of being biased, I'd rather help the team by being honest than sitting here blowing smoke up their ass. So, with that out the way, let's go ahead and dive into this review, right? Now, there were flaws. There were a lot of flaws, things I wish I could have fixed, right? And we're going to start with a couple of them. The late game inceptions or whatever the hell these things are called. The boss fights, we'll just call them boss fights. The interceptions or whatever. I think they should be level locked. I don't think people under a certain level should be able to access them. I don't care if you've already blitzed through the campaign, you had somebody carry you through, and, you've unlocked everything as is, and you've never level farmed or level grinded. You basically were carried through everything. That does not say that you should come in here and look for a carry on here also. I think that they should level lock it. That way, when you have people trying to actually go in and do things, they're not stuck trying to carry somebody who's literally sitting in the back with a sniper rifle not doing anything because they don't want to die because they're too weak, right? That, I say this from experience, and the reason I also put these videos up in the background so you can see it yourself, right? While we're doing the review, okay? I've seen it way too many times where people come in here on low levels and they would just completely wipe the entire team. Because either A, they don't know what the hell they're doing, or B, we're not meeting the DPS check that we're supposed to meet in order to succeed the battle, right? So it's more of a hindrance than anything, and I think it needs something to be done with it. Okay. Two, I think also one of the things that kind of pissed me off is if I get kicked or blue screened or disconnected, and I was in the middle of helping somebody, like a buddy of mine, through a mission per se, or something of that nature. When I come back in, it'll say, do you want to join that person or that session? And then it'll stick me in the same world, but not in the same party, even if I was the host. Or if I want to join one of my friends, we have to literally all meet up at the tower or Albion in order to do so. I think we should be able to link up whenever. Um, the way that they have it set up to where you can't access certain things unless you've basically unlocked everything and done everything is beautiful. So I don't think there would be any kind of an issue with them being like, okay, well, if you want to queue up with your buddies over here and you're in the middle of the sterile lands, then okay, here, cool, send them a party invite and then they can join you. If they don't have that area unlocked, it'll tell them that they can't join you or whatever, and then you have to go to where they are, like per se maybe they're still back in Kingston, right? I think that should be how that's done. Okay, that's how I think that should be done. I loved everything else. I did. I loved everything else. I do think that there should be a little bit more or a little bit less vagueness, or their systems should be a little less vague. You see that the parts for the frames and stuff come from certain things, like the amorphuses, and nowhere does it tell you where to acquire the amorphuses. Like, you have to literally go and, like, look them up directly, and I mean, that's just going back and forth between all the different regions, trying to see which resource or whatever drops it. Honestly, if you have it in there where you can look at where everything else drops, you can do that with the amorphuses too. It's not much of an issue, and I don't think it's much to ask for the community. I mean, there was some clipping issues as far as visual. I'm on a PS4 Pro running an SSD, so I mean, I'm not gonna have like the best quality, especially since I'm not on like a PS5 or anything like that. So forgive me for that. I don't have the money to buy a PS5 at the moment. Just like I don't have one to get a PC at the moment either, to kind of make my quality videos a little bit better. So I apologize all for that. But like, yeah, some of the quality, especially like in the tower, the graphics were like really bad, like really bad. Like sometimes the actual like material of my Jaber's cloak looked like it was like fluffing like 4 feet off of him. Like it looked almost like if you're playing Halo Reach or another game or another application that allows you to combine objects and phase them into each other. It looked like that, where if you did them just evenly, they would start fighting each other and spazzing out, and you would see like the kind of like the strobing. That's kind of what it looked like. Overall, the characters felt great. They definitely feel Warframe-ish. Like, you can definitely feel where certain characters are going to be within their own division. You know, just like in Warframe, you have characters that, you know, hold their own place in certain missions. I can see that. I, I honestly, I think the servers also need to be addressed. The servers felt great. Everything felt great, except for sometimes the servers would disconnect. But for me, I never really had that kind of an issue. The only time I ever had any kind of a server issue is if I was connected with somebody from, like, I would assume another country, and then things would lag a little bit, or I would get a very severe frame rate lag. Um, Whenever, like, so many enemies were killed at once, and then they were respawning, like if you were farming a resource or a defense or something, and the enemies were getting just completely obliterated in their spawn, the frame rate lag would be so atrocious that it would actually, my buddy was literally crashing on a PS5. It was blue screening his PS5. And that made me not feel so bad blue screening on a PS4 because I felt that it was actually doing it to a more superior console also. So I, I figured I'd notate that too. But like, I don't know. Overall, the game feels great. I do feel like the game is in a good place. I think there's some things that definitely need to be micromanaged. Um, I'm glad that this is coming out. I really am. I'm kind of upset now that the beta's over. Just for the simple fact that, like, man, I'm gonna miss it. Like, I put so many hours into playing it since I'm currently in between careers, and man, it was really, really nice to sit back and play. Especially since me and my buddies have a hard time playing games anyway, because everything now is coming out for PS5, and not much is coming out for PS4 also. So having this come out for both and being able to actually play something good and something nice with my friends has been like, it's been really nice. It really has. It's been refreshing. Um, Overall, I think the game's ready for release. I read what they said on their release, where they said that they tried to cover all their corners, and I think the team did a great job. I want to thank them personally for allowing us to be able to play the beta. Um, Honestly, I've been watching this game for probably close to 3 or 4 years, roughly, if I had to guess. And finally being able to play it, especially since the last alpha was PC only, man, this hit a nice little spot for me because I've been anticipating this game for a long time. So being able to sit back and finally get my hands on it was just, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and I really can't wait to see where this game goes in the future, and hopefully, move forward with the game in the future, and see how it see how everything turns out. I'm hoping that it's not another Outriders, but you know, we can't predict it, But we already see the way that they're communicating with us, the way that they're being extremely transparent. We could already see that they're already doing better than People Can Fly, and that's a plus in my book. They're aware of everything. Their team is aware that they had some issues, and they even addressed these issues as far as in their final message. And me being who I am, I can completely I can completely respect it from a gamer perspective. Honestly, this review sucks, man. Like, I don't want to say that I have to wait for this game. Like, I kind of want to like, render this out and then open up the application and go play the game. And that's saying something. That's telling, you know. Like, it's been a long time that a game has felt this polished and this good. Now, I've seen some reviews where people are saying that the game was a hit or miss. And let me explain. Just because there was some, like, issues in a beta, come on, man. Like, it's a fucking beta. It's a beta for a reason. Majority of the time, what we're playing in a beta is a prior build that, you know, probably already had been fixed, like, before the actual release to the public. If I remember right, we had to literally use our emails in the beginning to submit in order to access the beta. And that was like several months back. And then apparently they decided, oh well, we're not going to do it this way. We're not going to do it closed. They decided to give it to us open. They gave us an open beta. I mean, come on. They didn't have to do it that way. They could have done it the same way they did before. And some of these people doing the reviews of it, man, maybe these people should just go back to Warframe. Or just go play other games. I think this game did perfectly fine. I don't think there was many issues. I mean, there definitely were. There definitely were. Especially the bugs of, like, you know, not being able to cast out certain skills because it would freeze. Like, it would freeze out and it would prevent me from, like, planting my skills. So I would have to, like, get downed or jump off a map just to reset my character. There were little bugs like that, but, I mean, that's all minor. From a coding, programming perspective, I can fully see and fully support knowing that no matter what you do in programming, even if your code is absolutely flawless, there can still be issues. There can still be bugs. So I never will hold tiny bugs like that against the team because I know that things happen. I'm also aware that computers are absolutely stupid. And the computer will only do the input of the user. So a lot of the times, a lot of things are user related. Or just the game in general just has a hiccup. So again, there's certain things that I don't hold the team, you know, against, and there are going to be some things that I do. I do want to press forward and do another review later on after release. That way I can get my hands on the game a little bit more and see where things go, and maybe do, like, you know, a later review to see what's changed since this review. But, man, overall I miss the game. And that's non-biased. It really is. I missed the game already. I think it was something that we haven't seen in a long time, especially now in a time where video games come out half-cocked and we have to sit here and wait for updates and future patches and future content in order to make a game whole. And having this game release in a beta form, in an open beta form, and feel as good as it did, as polished as it did, offer as much as it did. I mean, let's be real, this fucking demo offered more than the entire purchase of fucking Anthem did. Right? We got more out of this demo than we got out of playing the entire game of fucking Anthem. And I'll never see my money back for that. I'll never see my money back for the fucking purchases of Anthem. Right? All $300 fucking dollars that I spent on Anthem is gone. Right? will I ever see the money that I spent on Outriders again? A game that they didn't give a fuck about. No. So, you know, when you come and you look at this game here, the difference in the fact that their beta had fucking more content than both of those games, you know, did on release is amazing. And then if you looked at the map even had more areas that we can go that we didn't even have access to in the actual demo or beta. So I'm kind of hyped. I'll always be hyped for this game. I want to see it do good, and I'm hoping that I don't have to do like a negative review just just because I kind of don't want to have to do a huge negative review, because I think this game has huge potential. I think that the team is being extremely transparent. I think they've done a great job so far in addressing things and putting out patches and, you know, working with us even within this small week that the game was available to us. And yeah, I think they're going to do a good job. I honestly think they're going to do a pretty good job. Yeah, that I don't really know what else I want to address other than those couple things. I never seen really as many more issues other than the blue screenings and a couple of the other things that I addressed. And for the majority, everything else was really well done. I mean, I'm not going to address everything that was good in the game because, I mean, the majority of the game, like I said, it was very well put together. And the fact that they took so much from Warframe as inspiration, I think Digital Extremes alone should take, take a lot of pride in knowing that what they've created inspired a game that, I hope goes just as far. But with that being said, I don't want this video to go too long. I do recommend this game when it does release. Just from playing as much as I did during the beta, I think people will be able to really get lost in it, really have a good time in it, especially the character customization. I can't tell you how many people in the Discord literally have done nothing but flood majority of the areas with nothing but pictures of Bunny's ass. So, I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, that's there. Or the people that'll be like taking pictures of Bunny on the loading screen, talk about Bunny just doing bunny things, even though she's literally just sitting there doing nothing. So, you got stuff like that. But anyway, that's my review. The game's free to play. Honestly, when it releases, I suggest anybody to try it out. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. We all have our vices. And yeah, I think if you play the game and you didn't play it during the actual beta, I think you'll enjoy it. I know several people that played it during the beta and really fell in love with it, and that's kind of telling too, to just hear and see those reactions. Yeah, that gives me a lot of hope. That really gives me a lot of hope. But it's your boy. I love you guys. If you liked the video, please go ahead, like, subscribe, help support the channel the best you guys can. Trying to get my count up. I'm trying to get Senpai over at Nexon to notice me so I can get in on their partnership program as a content creator. So help your boy out. If you guys want to hang out and bullshit about the first Descendant, or you just want to hang out, watch me and my buddies play some other shit, I live stream almost every day over on Twitch at twitch.tv/godified underscore at the end. Make sure you put the underscore because then it'll bring you to somebody else's page. I don't know who the fuck that is, but just make sure you don't forget the underscore. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait, boys. I can't wait to see what this game brings us. And I can't wait to be able to share the rest of the content that's going to be created and that I'm going to create with all of you when this game comes out. Time just can't move fast enough. And yeah, I'll see you guys in Albion on release. So, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Ta-da!